Hello and welcome again. Um, in this video, just before we go into the design itself, we will talk about shapes and icons, how to select them, and how to change their properties. And then we'll talk about color wheel, how to just a few tips on selection of colors. Okay, so in terms of selecting of shapes, let's say you want to, in your infographics, you are presenting an information on an outreach, for instance. So if you come here and you type outreach, um, okay, so this icon right here may not be what you want to describe in its entirety. So you just have to think through and come up with keywords that suit what you want. So um, another way to look at it is, let's say, crowd, because in an outreach we probably want to show that a lot of people came for it. So crowd isn't bringing up anything, so maybe you want to use people. And here we have lots and lots of icons. Again, I would rather use this mono filter so that all the icons I have will strictly be icons that you can alter the color along the line. So this one right here looks like it has a number of people in it. So if you keep scrolling down, this one also looks like it. You scroll down, maybe this one. Scroll down. um okay, so let's just make do with what we have already, and then you can here separate them. So depending on what you are describing, this one right here conveys some high level of energy. So the people are excited, maybe after receiving the message they are so excited. This one looks like bonding, like unity. This one, I'm not sure it describes anything really. I mean, okay, so I think I will go with this one. I mean, depending on what you're trying to portray, but I think I will go with this one or this one right here. So I might just delete this one, or let's pick this one. So as soon as you select the icon, up here you have different the properties of the icon. So this is where you change the properties. So here you can change the color, and then here you can, let's use green. Here you can change the opacity, so you can make it faint or you can make it bold. Here you link it to a web page if you want to. Here you I'll come back to this arrangement later. This both arrangement and alignment. Here you can flip up and down, and then you can flip left and right. The left and right may not be so obvious here, so let's use another icon. Here you can flip this left and right, and it's right there. You can see how it moves. So in explaining how this arrange and alignment works, you have to have multiple icons. So let's use let's use boxes. Let me just use basic shapes, uh boxes here and there. So all right, we have three boxes. Let's say one is um yellow, one is blue, and one is green. Okay, so as it is now, if you put them together, uh the blue is at the back, and then yeah, blue is at the back, green is in the middle, and then yellow is in front. So if you want this blue, for instance, to come forward, you click on bring forward. So it comes one step forward and it comes in front of the green, but it is still behind the yellow. If you want it to come another step forward, you click on bring forward again. So now it is in front of all of them. And the same way, if you want this yellow to go to the back of the green, for instance, you click on send backward. So bring forward comes, if the icon comes forward by one step, send backward, it goes backward by one step. However, the other icon, these other ones, the send to back and bring to front, would go all the way across the multiple layers and come all the way to the front, or this one will send it all the way to the back. So if you want this yellow to come to the front, without not necessarily coming in front of the green first, if you click on bring to front, it comes all the way to the front. And then the same way, if you click on send to back, it goes all the way to the back. So that's how this works. And then for the alignment, imagine that you have as I'm moving these icons already, you can see some orange lines. Those orange lines help to tell you whether or not they already align. So it helps you to know when the alignment is perfect and all of that. But just in case the orange line is not giving you what you want, and you have icons scattered like this, for instance, and you want them to fall all on the same line, if you select them, um, this way and you come here and you click on this alignment, for instance, no, sorry, not this one, I mean, yeah, this align to center vertically. When you click on this, it arranges them and puts them together, and makes them perfectly aligned. If they were vertically arranged this way, let's say scattered, you click on that first icon that I used, this one, it will all fall in line at once. So you can play around the other ones to see how they work. So that's it about the arrangement and the alignment buttons. So that's it. Those are the properties for shapes. And then let's go on to properties for lines. We have a line here already, but let me just bring in another one freshly right here. So this is the line. The properties for lines are essentially the same with the shape, except for this line width and line style. With the line style, you can convert it to a solid line, or you can convert it to dashed or to dotted lines as you wish. And then this line width, you can increase the thickness or the width of the line. This is more meaningful if it were a solid line, so you would see how thick the line can get. So that's it about that. And then of course you can change the color and use all the other ones. And then finally in this session, we can modify text as well. So we have the text right here. Let's say my infographics, and then next line say my design. Yes, say my what now? My work. So here again, you have the color, you have the opacity, you have the lock. But then peculiar to the text, you have font. Here you can change the font to whatever font you choose. A quick note on the font: your font has to be legible. That's the most important thing. It has to be legible, because that's the idea. People should be able to read it, and then it should be able to fit into the design and speak to what exactly it is you are passing across. It is not very professional to use too many fonts in a single design, so minimize the number of fonts that you are using in your design. So that's it about fonts. Here you can change the font size, and here you can make it bold, here you can italicize it, here you can underline it, here you can align center, left, right, justify. Here you can create a bullet, and then here you can increase this letter spacing is the space between each letter, as you can see, and then this line height is the space between each line, as you can see. And that's it. We are familiar with the other with the other properties already. So that explains the properties of shapes, icons, lines, and text. Let me quickly mention that you can also use the this arrange and align, especially this arrange for text as well. So that's what you use to place text on on icons or on images. For instance, if you want to have a section title, so you can have, let me even use this one, you can have something like this. No, I pressed down the shift button, that's why it adjusted that way. So you can have something like this, and then you can have text on it. So but in some cases it might happen that maybe you have the text first before you do the box. So let's say you have the text and then you bring in the box, and let's say you have it as orange, for instance, and then you place it here. Now the box is covering the text, so that's another way you can use this send to back, so that the box can go behind and then you can have your text in front. That's it. So the next thing I would like to quickly talk about is the color wheel, and that's a quick tip on selection of color. If you Google color wheel, for instance, you have different options. If you check this one that has a color calculator, let's see what we have. Okay, so here it is. This one gives you a clue as to different color combinations that you can use. So for instance, let's select a color, or we can use the color code for the orange red color we used in the first video. So that's 44F500. Here we go. So when you click on this complementary, it gives you the results, tells you the color that is complementary with the one that you have selected. Or if you check this monochromatic, it gives you the color that is, how do I put it now, like another shade, the next shade of that color that you have selected, and like that, like that, like that. So all of these different options gives you different color combination options or ideas that you can go with. An interesting thing is that you can rotate this wheel. So let's say you have this complementary, for instance, and then so you can move these icons around and see which color is complementary with which color. So with this can help you to make a good color selection. And when you have selected the color of your choice, you can copy the color code from here and then go and insert it right here into the in the Piktochart. So let's say this is what you want to choose. You can come here and insert the color here. So this is the trick for good color selection. You can read up on the tips on how to use this color wheel right here on this website, and it also explains all the meaning of the different combination options that they have. Alright, so that's it on color selection. See you in the next video.